Hey everybody, welcome to another con support video. This one is on intercepts from an equation. All right, so if they give you an equation, how can you find the intercepts? Remember, to find the intercepts, the y-intercept is where x is 0, and the x-intercept is where y is 0, basically. All right, let's go. So it says here, determine the intercepts of the line, and it gives you the line 2x plus 5y equals -6. So you got 2x plus 5y equals -6. Now, what's cool about this is called standard form of a line. So really, if you can imagine, basically, when you're finding the intercepts using standard form, it's actually pretty nifty, because to find the y-intercept, all you do is plug in a 0 for x, so that just goes away. That yellow highlight, it's like it disappears. So really, it's just 5y equals -6 and solve for y, right? So if you're doing that, we could easily see that we just divide both sides by 5, and that means that y is going to be equal to -6 divided by 5, or -6/5. So that means the y-intercept is going to be -1 1/5. -1 1/5. It's a little small for me to write it in there, but there we go. And then for the x-axis, we're just going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to get rid of the y's, right? So in standard form, you just plug in a 0 for y. That means the 5 times 0 goes away. So all that just disappears, right? So really, it's the same as just 2x equals -6. And if you're trying to solve for x, all you got to do is divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to -6 divided by 2, which is -3. So the x-intercept is going to be -3, while the y-intercept is going to be -1 1/5. So that's what you put. So the y-intercept is going to be, the order pair is 0 for x. And then for the y value, you're looking at -1 1/5, which is the same as -1.2, 1 2/10. And then for the x-intercept, you're looking at a value of -3 for x and a value of 0 for y. So that's how you do that. All right, let's do the next one. I determined the intercepts of the line, and this time they don't give it to us in standard form, so it's a little more annoying. So this time they give it to us as -3x minus 4 is equal to -5y minus 8. All right, now you could rearrange this into standard form, which can make it pretty simple to plug in and find the intercepts. That's one way to go about doing this. The other way you could do it is you could solve for y and put it into slope-intercept form. I think the easiest way to do it is just put it in standard form if you're trying to find the intercepts, right? So I'm going to get all the variables to one side, basically. So x and y both to the same side, and the constants to the other side. So what I want to do here is I want to get the y to come and join the x. So I'm going to add 5y to both sides. And I'm going to get the -4 to go to the other side, get rid of that -4 by adding 4 to both sides. And ultimately, when you do that, what you end up with is a standard form equation of -3x plus 5y, because they're not like terms, right? It is equal to -8 plus 4, which is going to be -4. So now it's basically in standard form. So now it's easy to do that thing I showed you a second ago. So when you're looking for the x-intercept, you just plug in a 0 for y. So we could just make that go away. That just disappears. So you get -3x is equal to -4. If you divide both sides by -3, you get your x-intercept, which is going to be x is equal to -4 over -3, which is +4/3. So that means the x value for the x-intercept is going to be +4/3, which is basically 1 1/3. Okay? For the y value, you're going to basically get rid of that. Let me see if I can get rid of the highlight. And -1 1/3. So +1 1/3, I think. Yeah, +1 1/3. Sorry, guys. Anyways, and then for the y value, you're going to get rid of the x, because it's going to be x is 0. So the x disappears, and you're left with just 5y equals -4. Divide both sides by 5, and you're going to get the y-intercept, which is going to be y equals -4/5. So that's going to be that. Let's get rid of that and go -4/5 up here. All right, so the two intercepts you have is the y-intercept is going to be -4/5, and the x-intercept is going to be 1 1/3. So let's put that in. So for the y-intercept, you're looking at 0 and negative. You could do 0.8 or 4/5. So I'm going to do 0.8. And then for the x-intercept, you're looking at a 1 1/3, which is basically, I'm going to do 1 space 1/3, and then 0. And so that is our correct answer. Okay, let's do the next one. So this time they give it to you in slope-intercept form, okay? So now they've given you the line in slope-intercept form, which is kind of nice for the y-intercept, right? Pretty cool, right? So you get y equals 6x plus 13. Because it's in slope-intercept form, we know that the 6 is the slope, then the plus 13 is the intercept, right? So when it's in y equals mx plus b, whatever you're adding or subtracting is the y-intercept. Because when x is 0, this all goes away, and you get y equals 13. So the y-intercept is really easy. It's just going to be 13. That's how simple that was. The x-intercept, you got to plug in a 0 for y and solve. So if you have 0 equals 6x plus 13, what is the value of x? So now we want to get the x's by themselves, so take away 13 from both sides. You get negative 13 is equal to 6x's. You want to undo times by 6, so divide by 6 both sides, and you're going to get the value of your x-intercept. Now, negative 13 over 6 is the same as negative 2 and 1/6. So you could put it in any form you want. I think it's fine just to leave it as negative 13/6. I'm not really sure exactly what form they want it in. It doesn't make a difference. This is its real value, right? So it's going to cross the x-axis at negative 2 and 1/6. And so now we're going to go in and put our answer in. So the y-intercept is going to be the value of negative, 0, 13. And the x-intercept is going to be negative 2 and 1/6. So let's just do negative 13 over 6. I'm going to put it in that form. I think it's less likely that they'll just read it. And we're going to make so the negative 2 and 1/6, which is negative 13/6, and the y value of 0. So there we go. All right, let's do the next one. So on this one here, we've got a situation where they're giving it to us in standard form again, score. Standard form is very good for when we're looking for intercepts. So negative 5x minus 4y is equal to 10. This is basically standard form of a line. So that means that you're going to just be able to cover your x's to get your y-intercept and cover your y's to get your x-intercept. So looking for the x-intercept, just cover your y's. And you can see that the x-intercept is going to be when y is 0. So this just goes away. The yellow just makes it disappear, basically. And you're looking at negative 5x is equal to 10, right? So how do you solve negative 5x equals 10? Divide both sides by negative 5. So x is equal to 10 divided by negative 5, which is negative 2. So we know that the x-intercept is going to be negative 2, 0. The y-intercept means that we're going to get rid of our get rid of our x value. So the x is going to disappear because x is 0. So we're looking for the y-intercept. It's going to be the same as negative 4y equals 10. How do you undo times by negative 4? Divide by negative 4. So that's going to be negative 2 and 2/4, or negative 2 1/2. So basically, you're looking at these two intercepts, right? The y-intercept is going to be negative 2 1/2, and the x-intercept is going to be negative 2. And let's plug that in. So over here, the y-intercept is going to be 0, and then a negative 2.5, which is the same as 2 1/2. And the x-intercept is going to be negative 2, 0. And that's kind of how you do it. So hopefully that helps.